food is good. La comida es rica. I like to eat it. Me gusta comerla. I like fruit. Me gusta la fruta.
Okay, today's episode, I'm going to be making Indian blue corn taco shells and completing them into tacos. Making these on the griddle, so these are not fried. The ingredient that I'm using here is blue corn masarina, not the blue cornmeal, but feel free to use that. These are the ingredients. Okay, here we have guacamole that's I just recently made. This one's pretty hot. Well, I put in about 4 or 5 habaneros in there. Okay, we're going to have some shredded or chopped lettuce. This is that red chili sauce that I made for one of the other videos. I've refrigerated it. I put it in a squeeze bottle so I can just squeeze some on. This is that chili verde. This one is very hot. This one I think I put about 6 habaneros in it, along with the serranos and the other ingredients that are listed and displayed or demonstrated on that other video making this particular chili. Here is a ground beef and refried bean mixture. It's got a little bit of it's a red chili that I put in this thing. The reason I did that is because I made what I call Oaxaca refried beans, which is more like a paste. So I added I cooked up the ground beef, which had some garlic and some onions in it, and then I put in the refried beans, and so now I have this mixture here. You can use any mixture that you want. There's all kinds of ingredients that can go into tacos. I'm going to have a couple of Roma tomatoes that I'm going to chop, and here's some sour cream. This one is particularly a Mexican sour cream. Okay. All right, now make sure that your comal is on medium-high heat. And you've seen me do this before in other videos. Just get your masa into a ball. Okay, I'm going to make this a little larger. If it feels too dry, just put a few drops of water. If it feels too wet, you can either let it set a little bit longer or add a little bit more cornmeal. You need to have a plastic down, as I showed you before. Put another plastic on top of that. That's so that the masa doesn't stick to your press. Okay, just press it down. Okay, now you don't want to make them too thin. The blue corn, you have to leave it somewhat thick, so that I only press it down once. Okay, now I've turned this around like this after I peeled that one piece of plastic off. That's so it's easier to peel that second plastic. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to put it on your comal, and you're going to actually cook it just like a regular corn tortilla. Okay, just put your flattened masa on the griddle on medium-high heat. It's going to start to bake, and it doesn't matter. At this point here, you'll notice it's starting to get a little harder on the edges. That means the bottom is cooking fine. Okay, now flip it over. Notice the color has changed somewhat. Now what I'm going to do
These are a little bit tricky because the masa is of a different kind of density than your yellow masa harina. So the idea is the tortilla has to be flexible, but it doesn't have the kind of ingredients your commercial tortillas have. That's what makes those more flexible. Okay? So you'll notice little cracks are happening right in here. This is that's the nature of this kind of the blue cornmeal. So now, even though this is a dry griddle, what you're going to do is add a little bit of oil to it, just a little bit. That's going to help to keep it flexible. Just paint it like this, and then flip it over. Paint the other side here. Okay, now I lowered the heat. This is the tricky part here, but it's not too hard to do if you're careful. What you're going to do is begin to fold this. Just do it. I showed you before on the other video with the yellow masa harina. See that? You don't want to snap it because it will break, and that's okay. You can just continue to cook it that way and then use it for chips or something later. Now, this is going to be a we want it to be crispy or we want it to be soft. Well, the nature of homemade corn tortillas is that it can be both at the same time. Crunchy on the outside, a nice soft bite on the inside. Commercial tortillas are a little bit thinner. Consequently, you won't find that there. And they don't press them out. They cut them out like a stamp machine. Now notice, this is all I'm doing. I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on it. Let me turn it sideways so you can see. I'll go this way here. Okay, so it's bending, and as the heat is in this thing, it's going to remain flexible. Okay, now I'll use both spatulas, and what I'm going to do is let it bake on that kind of edge there at the bottom. Okay, right in here. Okay, now transfer it. When it's done like that, it seems like it's holding pretty good. See how flexible that is? Oh, these are so good too. Anyway, now you want to transfer it to a paper towel, and you want to put a little weight on it. Just a tad. I'm hoping that this will show it. Let's see here. Here we go. Okay. I'm transferring it here, and I'm just going to put a little weight on there. What's going to happen there is that the tortilla is going to cool in that shape, and that's the way you make a blue corn tortilla shell for a taco. Okay, here's a few of them. See how they hold their shape now? They've cooled off. Look at that. Now at this point, you can also salt them. Just sprinkle a little bit of salt on them if you like. It's up to you. But now the next thing to do is to fill them. So let me see what kind of ingredients I can stick in there. Boy, they smell good. They really do. Nice, toasty, and earthy. Okay, I put a little bit of the refried bean mixture, and I put some lettuce up there. And we're going to add some freshly chopped tomatoes. Okay. Then some of that homemade salsa on some and guacamole on others, or maybe we'll just do this. Here's my red chili sauce. Okay, we'll leave these two alone for now. Okay, we're going to add guacamole to these ones, and that is a hot guacamole. Okay. Little whipped cream, sour cream rather. Mmm. Ay, qué bueno. Now, that's a taco. That's a taco that all my vecinos and vecinas would love. Look at that. Still a little flexible, still crispy on the outside, and soft on the inside. I know you can't see me, but you can certainly hear me take a bite. Mmm. Mmm. What a combination of flavors. Boy. Okay. Honestly, not as crispy as I would like. I sort of left them in there a little bit longer. On the other hand, I could have fried them, but for demonstration purposes, as little oil as possible. Thank you for coming by, Señor Vecino. Ay, qué bueno.
Food is good, la comida es rica. I like to eat it, me gusta comerla. I like fruit, me gusta la fruta. I like fruit, me gusta la fruta. The apples, las manzanas, the apples, las manzanas.